episode of 1923 Main Street.
Home of everything to do with Disney travel in style. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Braddock. And today, what to pack and wear at Walt Disney World this April 2025.
Yes, if you're heading to Walt Disney World in April, spoiler alert, we have some great news for you. Assuming everything stays as it's supposed to. And we're coming off, actually, a pretty good visit in March.
Oh, yes. The weather just looks fabulous, and it looks to be continuing on that trend.
Yeah, March has turned out as we discussed in our March episode, so fingers crossed the weather patterns hold as the forecasters say. So if you're heading in April, weather is one consideration, but there's also other things to consider when you're packing and thinking of things to wear on your Disney vacation. But let's jump right in with what everybody usually wants to know. What is the long-term weather forecast for April? Well, not that long-term anymore, but the weather forecast for April 2025 at Walt Disney World. It's looking pretty good, I would have to say.
I would say it's looking amazing. Daytime highs mostly in the 80s, ranging anywhere from 79 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you use Celsius, that is 26 to just over 30. So very, very nice daytime temperatures. Even the nighttime really not dropping too low, ranging anywhere from 68 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, if you're using Celsius, that does not drop below 20. So we have got some beautiful, beautiful weather coming up. That honestly doesn't even seem like that low.
It's not, because coming out of March,
low.
our lows were in the around 50 at the coldest some of the mornings. And I still went out in t-shirt and shorts. So, now we're into the 60s and upper 60s pretty much. So you really have a great April, knock on wood, coming up. And on top of all that...
Well, you might be able to start putting some of those sweaters away.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're going to late night extra magic hours, you're still going to be fine probably in t-shirt and shorts or whatever your warm weather clothes is. You can go from day to night seamlessly. Now, rain... still not so bad. There's only a few days, some towards the beginning of the month. There are currently no washouts in the forecast, so that's always good. A few drips and drabs of rain, but overall they're saying that it is going to be a drier April than we normally see for Walt Disney World in the Orlando area.
Do you know what? Anytime Florida and dry are involved, I say take the win.
And so if you go by the old April showers bring May flowers, you can be thankful that Disney has already taken care of the flower part, which is a good thing with a lack of rain.
Yes, Disney's taken the initiative to get ahead because Flower and Garden remains in full swing.
Yeah.
Throughout April, lots of delicious eats this year, lots of good things.
It was we always enjoy it, but I think Amelia's enjoying it a little more each year. Maybe as you get older, you appreciate. Do you even care about the ambiance of the gardens and things like that?
Well, nobody makes me go into the Butterfly Conservatory anymore. So.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, we didn't go in it this year, but we usually go in it. Take a few butterfly
That's fine,
photos.
But when you're 5 and you want to go on rides, it's not the most exciting thing in the world.
Yeah, fair enough. But the gardens are really good. There's some great topiaries this year. Always fun to go through the new Moana water exhibit, especially after dark.
Yeah, feels very Flower and Garden. And with those temps in the 90s, might be getting a little bit more crowded, but definitely worth a visit.
So let's talk about what to pack and wear. I mean, we've touched upon it right now. It's really, here's how I would put it, see if you agree. It's basically summer-like weather without the humidity, or starting to be, close to be.
I would still say there's humidity. There's not quite summer humidity, but there is humidity in the air. Depending on the time of day, it fluctuates a lot. It could go from 90 to 30% humidity in one day.
But there's none of your clothes sticking to your body humidity in April.
Not quite, but I did remember how to sweat.
Yeah, that's good.
Is what I'll say.
So you can confidently pack your warm weather clothing, whatever that is, shorts, t-shirts, dresses, whatever you like to wear. Another thing we should note that, anyone looking for some color is the UV is hovering around 10 every single day. So we didn't talk about this, but
nice and high.
Not only is it warm, it is virtually, partly cloudy at most.
So all of the effective tanners love to check that UV.
So warm and sunny, verging on hot and sunny at times weather So however you want to pack for that, I mean, when I go, I would pack for April exactly as I did in March, quite frankly, which is shorts, t-shirts, or some of those short sleeve button-up shirts. And that's it. I'm good to go. Had to buy some comfortable shoes, as we talked about last week. But other than that, you're pretty good to go with your smaller items in your suitcase. So if you want to try carry-on, this is a good month to check it out and start to do that.
Yeah. Personally, I definitely packed a lot of pant and sweatshirt and long sleeve options.
You overpack.
I disagree. But we had large fluctuations.
As someone who has to stick some of your stuff in my suitcase, always, I would say you overpack.
Okay. Well, there's less fluctuations in daily temperatures this month, so you might be able to lose some of those morning or night sweatshirts and just stick with your shorts and t-shirt or your sundress or whatever your day look is.
So let me ask you
all
this.
Day.
Compared to what you just packed, we just got back for March, if we were going again in mid-April, would you have less in your suitcase?
Sure.
Okay. You might have the same number of items, but they might be thinner.
They would be smaller, exactly.
So you would not need
I would have more space in my suitcase.
To look
I might
longingly
not have...
at my luggage where I leave lots of room in case I want to buy something and still only do carry-on.
You leave lots of room for me.
That's not really why, but I know you think that's why.
I mean, it's pretty much why.
All right. So we've talked about the weather. Not so rainy. I wouldn't even bother. We're not poncho people. Or if you have one of those tiny little umbrellas and it might rain, you go on that first week, sure, shove it in your suitcase. But the other fun thing about packing is packing for special events or other things that are going on.
Yes, of course.
Now, you mentioned flower and garden. I like packing for that. I have a couple of shirts that are sort of floral-ish in design. It doesn't have to be flowers. It can be foliage or floral, anything nature-inspired, that type of stuff. Perfect to wear for flower and garden.
Well, I like to plan out my Instagram photos. You know, I make a Pinterest board. Lots of different spring-like, more lightweight options coming in this season. So very excited about that.
And of course, as I mentioned in another episode, your concert merch is perfect because Garden Rocks is going on. There was I got to say this. We walked by and there was this ridiculously long lineup for Garden Rocks. And I'm thinking, who is playing? I mean, I've never seen a lineup like this. And it was Air Supply. So any of you old people, mellow Air Supply rockers.
Yeah, there's quite the crowd.
Yeah, it was insane.
The average age of the crowd is probably 70, but...
Not quite, but, well, there could be. There could be some 70-year-olds in that crowd.
All right. I'll be ready.
Flower and garden's not the only thing. There's two main other things to consider for the month of April, starting with...
Well, Easter's coming up.
Easter, but before Easter, there is a Run Disney race.
Oh, yeah.
So you should be aware of that. Not only just for watching or if you want to wear your active wear or something like that.
Pretend you're in the race.
Yeah, pretend you're in the race.
Or, I mean, if you are in the race, pack your running gear. Don't forget.
There are also road closures and some types of crowds. I mean, they try to do it before park opening, but if you're leaving your hotel to go to the airport or something, this is the April 3rd to 6th time frame. There's a 5K, 10K, a 10 mile, and other things going on. So bear that in mind. April 3rd to 6th, beginning of the month. And then Easter, as Amelia mentioned, coming in on Sunday, April 20th, very late this year, towards the end of the month.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually when we're there, we see, the decor and the grand, all the eggs are up. That was not the case this year.
Yeah, we just missed them.
Easter was incredibly late. But if you are happening to be there during that season, lots of outfit options for you.
Yeah, definitely wear some Easter gear. Little kids or, a little nicer clothes or your whites or whatever you wear, your pastels, your Easter egg inspired colors. And if you are so lucky to be there on Easter morning, especially at the Grand Floridian, they do a fantastic Easter egg hunt usually. I'm not talking about the ones in the lobby. I'm talking about a real one for kids and big kids alike. So I'm not sure if all the resorts do that, but definitely they will have activities, I'm sure, for Easter on site at Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
So it is fun to be there. Just like, we've never been there for Christmas morning or anything like that because I don't like to be there that
Do
week.
they hide gifts in the lobby for me to find? Special giveaways?
I don't know. Maybe we'll, someone let us know.
Oh, I got to get down with that.
Let us know on social media this week. So there you have it. Looking good for April. I mean, really not much to say. Fingers crossed.
April weather looks
Yeah, no surprises.
Perfect,
Fingers
to be
crossed.
honest.
It does. It really looks
So
perfect.
if you're there, enjoy it.
Definitely. And share some photos of how it goes. Follow along on social media, as always, at 1923 Main Street. Visit the shop for some new drops of casual wear. We will see you again next week, and have a magical day.
Bye-bye.